The billionaire's hands were shaking, millions of dollars vanishing every minute, the entire building frozen in silence, and the only person who dared step forward was a quiet single dad janitor everyone ignored. What happened next shocked the boss, the employees, and will stay with you till the very end. Before the story begins, if you love emotional stories of real kindness and unexpected heroes, like this video and subscribe to True Kindness Tales. Your support helps us share stories that truly matter. The headquarters of Virex Global stood like a glass kingdom in the heart of the city, home to one of the most feared and admired billionaires in the tech world, Ethan Kross. Known for his sharp mind and colder heart, Ethan had built an empire on flawless systems, numbers, and control. That morning, everything he trusted betrayed him. Screens across the building went black. Trading platforms froze mid-transaction. Phones rang endlessly, alarms echoed, and panic spread like wildfire. Engineers rushed from one floor to another, executives argued in hushed but frantic tones, and the CEO's office became a war room. Every second of downtime meant millions lost, reputations shattered, and a stock crash looming. Ethan stood at the center, his face pale, jaw clenched, eyes burning with fear he hadn't felt since his early struggling days. He barked orders, threatened contracts, demanded solutions, but nothing worked. The system that ran the entire company had collapsed, and no one understood why. Amid the chaos, no one noticed the janitor quietly mopping the marble floor near the server wing. His name was Daniel Reyes, a 38-year-old single father who worked nights and early mornings so he could be home when his daughter returned from school. He wore worn-out shoes, faded gloves, and carried more exhaustion than anyone cared to see. Years ago, Daniel had been a systems technician, but life had not been kind. His wife's illness, hospital bills, and her passing forced him to abandon his career for survival. Now, he cleaned floors in a building that once would have been his workplace. As engineers shouted, Daniel noticed something strange. Emergency lights near the server corridor flickered in a specific pattern. He paused, listening, not to voices, but to the building itself. A faint hum, irregular and wrong. His instincts stirred, the old professional reflex awakening. He stepped closer, peering into a restricted panel left open in the panic. What he saw made his heart race, not fear, but clarity. This wasn't a cyber attack or software bug. It was a cascading power loop failure, something rare, dangerous, and invisible to surface diagnostics. Daniel hesitated. Who would listen to a janitor? He'd been ignored his whole life lately. But he thought of his daughter, waiting for him every evening, believing her father could fix anything. That belief pushed him forward. As executives argued behind glass walls, Daniel raised his voice softly, then louder. "Sir, I think I know what's wrong." Silence followed, not respect, but disbelief. Heads turned. Ethan Kross stared at the man holding a mop like an intruder. Security stepped closer. Ethan almost dismissed him, almost. But desperation has a way of cracking pride. With nothing left to lose, Ethan waved him in. The janitor walked into the heart of the empire, unaware that this single step was about to change every life in that room. Ethan Kross looked Daniel up and down, his tailored suit and watch worth more than the janitor's yearly salary. "You have 30 seconds, he snapped. Daniel didn't argue. He spoke calmly, pointing at diagrams flashing useless error codes on the screens. He explained the power loop anomaly in simple but precise terms, describing how an overlooked backup line was overloading the system from within. Engineers scoffed, until they checked. One by one, their faces changed. Silence replaced arrogance. Daniel requested access to the manual override room, a place only senior engineers entered. Ethan hesitated, then nodded. "If this is a waste of time, you're gone," he warned. Daniel didn't flinch. Inside the room, Daniel moved with confidence born from years of forgotten experience. He rerouted power manually, adjusted load balances, and shut down one non-critical grid to stabilize the core. Sweat rolled down his face as alarms screamed louder, then suddenly stopped. Screens blinked back to life. Systems rebooted. Trading resumed. The building exhaled as if it had been holding its breath. Cheers erupted. Engineers stared at Daniel like they were seeing a ghost. Ethan stood frozen, his panic replaced by something unfamiliar, humility. "Who are you?" he asked quietly. Daniel answered simply, "Just the janitor." The room laughed nervously, but Ethan didn't. He asked Daniel to explain how he knew all this. Daniel told his story without drama, how he once fixed systems like these, how life took everything, and how cleaning floors was the only honest work left that let him raise his daughter. Something shifted in Ethan's eyes. For the first time, he saw not an employee, but a human being. He ordered everyone out, leaving just the two of them. Ethan admitted something no one expected: fear. Not of failure, but of becoming irrelevant. Daniel listened, not judging. He spoke about resilience, about dignity in unseen work, about how true value isn't in titles but in character. By the end of the conversation, Ethan offered Daniel a senior systems role on the spot, triple the salary. Daniel asked for one thing first: flexible hours to be with his daughter. Ethan agreed without hesitation. Word spread through the building by evening: the janitor saved the company. Respect replaced indifference. Smiles replaced whispers. That night, Daniel went home and hugged his daughter tighter than ever. For the first time in years, hope felt solid. Weeks later, Virex Global released a public statement, not about profits, but about people. Ethan Cross introduced a new company policy recognizing hidden talent within every role. Training programs were launched. Janitors, guards, and assistants were encouraged to share ideas. The culture changed. But the biggest transformation was Ethan himself. He started arriving earlier, greeting employees by name, listening instead of commanding. Daniel became a quiet legend, not because he wanted fame, but because his story reminded everyone that kindness and humility could rewrite destiny. One afternoon, Ethan stood beside Daniel overlooking the city skyline. "You saved more than my company," Ethan said. "You saved me from becoming someone empty." Daniel smiled softly. Sometimes people just need to be seen. That moment became the soul of the company. And for Daniel's daughter, her father was no longer just a janitor, he was a hero who proved that dignity, patience, and kindness always find their moment. If this story touched your heart, inspired you, or reminded you to never judge someone by their uniform, please like this video and subscribe to True Kindness Tales. Your support helps us keep sharing stories that prove true kindness can change the world.